Well, today we have here what is this device, which we are going to be able to recover in a very easy and simple way. In this video tutorial we are going to use a totally different method than the previous one. Is what we are going to do? Well, we are going to recommend you watch the video tutorial step by step until the end to be able to solve this problem, since this device is fully updated, that it already has a screen lock. Also, finally, it has the forgotten Gmail account. Well, we are going to be connected to a Wi-Fi network to be able to do this process. This method that we are going to do is totally without a PC. We are not going to use the PC in this video tutorial. One method, we are going to clean the camera. It seems that it is like fogged up. Ready. We are going to click here where it says do not copy. We are going to click here. As you can see, we have this lock pin that we have forgotten, and we formatted it, and we are still left with this lock also with the Gmail account. We are going to click here where it says use without a Google account. Let's click on it. That said, what are we going to do? Well, there are several ways to be able to enter our device. But in this video tutorial we are going to go back. We go back. Now we go forward, and we are going to enter here where it says policy. We are not going to enter by the method that we entered before. We are going to enter through another part. We are going to give the last option here. Then we go down and we go where it says Motorola, COM support. We are going to click there. Ready, let's go. We are going to show you here this profile that appears here. Here it shows what is account start with my Google account. Previously we had this option here to log in. But as you can see that access is blocked. Now we are going to enter here help. Here help we are going to write YouTube. We are going to enter. We click here in the magnifying glass. Previously this video appeared before it gave us the 3 dots. But now that all these devices have been updated, we are left with the 3 dots. Now we are left with what is this little nut. In this little nut they are left with more options solve. Playback problem, and it would take us to this section. But we are not going to need that option anymore. Now we have this one here. We are going to go back. We are going to enter again. We click the last option. We return to where we were Motorola. COM support. This is where what we are going to do now. We are not going to use those options anymore. We are going to use it here. This magnifying glass and these letters that appear here. Magnifying glass and letter. Let's make it magnifying glass and letter. Make it softer. Magnifying glass and letter are selected here now. Those options are no longer working. Now we select this one. We'll click here where it says share. We're going to enter here where the message is. Here we click here where it says a new message. Well, I want to explain to you that method that we were going to adjust. Now this method is no longer working here. We're not going to need adjustment or anything like that. Let's go. We'll have what is a totally different video. So here we're going to write any number. Let's select it here. We're going to delete all this. And now we're going to write www.youtube.com. Now like this we're going to wait. Now we click here on load. Let's see, what are we going to do? We're going to click here on YouTube. We'll see that it takes us here. We're going to click to the side. We click the ball on the right side. Here we're going to click here where it says configuration. Now we click here where it says accessibility, that's the option, we click here. Give accessibility. Now we give it here in control, here is the configuration in blue letters. As you can see they are in blue letters, let's click on it. Here it would take us to what is accessibility. What are we going to do? Let's click on accessibility. Enable accessibility, ready. We're going to see another option that suddenly lets us enter. Let's say that suddenly it let us enter YouTube. Let's see if this other option works. I'm going to try. I haven't tried it. We're going to click here on this magnifying glass. It appears here. Option doesn't appear here. Accessibility. Well, if the accessibility option appears, then we'll continue. How are we going? What are we going to do? Well, we are going to click here. And we are going to click on the assistant. We are going to click here where it says use a Google account. Here we are going to click here where it says accept open. We are going to click on it and we are going to say open Google Chrome, and it would take us to Google Chrome. That would be one of the options. Already to Google Chrome. Being here in Google Chrome, what are they going to do? They're going to write Google Maps. Google Maps, there it is, already. But let's say that in some functions, what Google Chrome does not work for some people. Then they are going to say, they are going to click here and they are going to click on the assistant and they are going to say open Google Maps. Now if it does not work somewhere, you can enter here. If you can see, now what are we going to do? We are going to click here where it says skip. Here in skip we are going to click here the little ball that appears here. Now what we are going to do is look for configuration. Here is the last option, adjustment. We are going to click on it. Now what are we going to do? We are going to select the option where this says Google configuration location, here where we are going to select. We are going to click here where it says location app. It takes us here all the apps, not here where it says all. We are going to click here where it says show system. Here the Google services appear. As you can see, here are the Google services. We are going to click on disable. But it seems that it is leaving us. It is leaving us that option. Well, yes, it does not leave you that option. As you can see in the upper right part, there is the magnifying glass, a magnifying glass. You are going to write here to PPS. You're going to write apps. You're going to delete one. You're going to write apps. Here it is. What are we going to do? Here where this option that appears here, we're going to select apps. Ready. Here we see application battery. The battery usage of the applications, we're going to click here. Now we're going to select Google services. Here it does let us disable the application. As you can see here, it let us disable the application. What are we going to do? We're going to restart our device. We restart it. Now we're going to wait a few seconds until it restarts completely. This isn't over yet. What are we going to do? Well, recommendation as always, I recommend watching the video tutorial step by step to the end, since at the end of the video we are going to explain how to correct some errors that we have left on our device. On our phone we have some errors, so we are going to correct them. What are those errors when we always recover our device? The screen gets stuck, or also something else that happens to us that it stopped. We always get the application stopped or continues to fail. Well, let's click here where it says accept and continue. We click. Here, we are going to wait for it to focus well. Our phone is not ready. Now we are going to wait here. We are going to wait until we get do not copy, an option that appears here. It says do not copy. Then we click where it says do not copy, and we are going to get to where it says wait a moment, looking for updates up to there. I am going to pause the video for a moment so as not to make it so long. Once here it arrives, we click where it says do not copy. We are going to click here. Okay, now what are we going to do? We are going to wait for our device. This is where we are going to arrive. We have arrived. We are going to focus. Well, ready. We go back. Back, and we are going to click here where it says Assistant Google. Takes us, we're going to click here. We click here in politics. Here we click where it says open. We click open. We're going to write Google Maps. We click here in Google Maps. We click disable. It seems that it lets us enable. Well, it's letting us disable it. You see that it doesn't let us disable it. We're going to click forward. We're going to enter from here, the last option. Motorola support. Let's click here. We click here on share. Well, since all these options are not working, then what you are going to do is go back here to this option. We already arrived here. What are we going to do? Let's click here on accessibility. And we are going to select the option that says accessibility. Accessibility settings. Here in this magnifying glass, we are going to write the same thing. Apps, we delete the first letter. We write the, and here the option will appear. We select. We click here where it says battery usage of the applications. We search for Google services, and we are going to enable it. It is enabled. It is already enabled. Ready. Now we have to remove both SIM card. This, if you have a SIM card entered, we remove that SIM card then. Once we remove that sync, we click here configure offline. We click accept. We click accept. We click here on skip. Here we are not going to add any screen lock or anything like that. We click. We tell it not now, because our device is locked. It is stuck. It gets stuck, and how do we solve that? Well, let's go. Let's turn off the screen. Turn on the screen, and as you can see, it gets stuck. Let's go down here in settings. Let's select the last option, and let's select this option that says system. We hit reset. We hit delete everything. What happens? We're going to restore all our information. We have to do that, yes or yes. When the phone is completely restarted, what we have to do is be able to configure it. We configure it normally. We remove the zinc and we do the same process that we have explained.